Hi students, this is Professor Cocazella here, and I will be your instructor for English 102 for the spring semester. So I always do a welcome video to get you guys, my students, acquainted with how the classes run. This is a face-to-face class, but there is a caveat to that, and that is that quite a bit of what we're going to be doing is going to be done through Blackboard. So I need you to know how to navigate all the features of Blackboard. And the other issue is that some of the class sessions will be done either via Zoom, or we might even have a few class sessions that are asynchronous. In other words, we won't be meeting face to face, but rather I'll give you a task to accomplish within that class period of time. But not to worry, I will give you advance warning when it's going to be a Zoom class or when it's going to be a class task rather than meeting face to face. And indeed, most of our meeting times will be in the classroom. Now I have two sections of 102. So this is going to be a generic video explaining what is common to both of the classes. The basic difference is that one of the classes starts on February 6th, whereas the other one starts on Monday the 23rd. So I'll highlight the differences when we come to them. So the bottom line is that I have here, what you are seeing right now is a screenshot of what your Blackboard site will look like. Don't worry, this is not your CRN 34899. You guys are indeed 31006 and 34115. But I'm just doing this generic video, and then I will drop this video into your particular class course site. But everything else remains the same. So you'll see on the left-hand side of your screen all the menu items. I know this is review for most of you guys because we're all pretty familiar with Blackboard by now, but I do want you to know sort of the ways that in particular that I use it, because I think I use it a lot more extensively than some of the other instructors, and I just want you to be familiar with the features and the menu items and that kind of jazz. So where we're at right now, let me jump back. Where you're at right now is the home page. And it's just a welcome banner, right? And you've obviously gotten all of this information already through announcements. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video right now. So the welcome page, home page is just that. You won't really need to use it from here on out. The next item up is announcements, and this is pretty important. This is what it'll look like throughout the course of the semester. In other words, every class period, or at least twice a week, I will present you with an announcement, and it'll review what was done in class, what were the agenda items, what are the upcoming due dates, and that kind of jazz. This is also emailed to you, the email that you have on file as your MyMC email. So there should be no excuse for you not getting it. If you don't get it through your email, you can always jump into the Blackboard course sites and just click on announcements, and it'll show up. And it's, it's dated, and it's a great way to keep in touch. The other thing about announcements that are particularly important is it's always the most up-to-date information. In other words, due dates will definitely change during the course of the semester. We might have a snow day, and we might be moving agenda items around and that kind of thing. So this is the most updated information. Now, course mail is the next thing up, and this is important for you all to realize. You have three ways of contacting me. Number one is through course mail. Number two is through MyMC email. And obviously the number three is really goes without saying, face to face, just chatting with me. I would much prefer, and indeed I'm going to demand, that if you are sending me an email, do not do it through your MyMC email. Please do it through this course mail feature in Blackboard. And that way I know that it's from this particular CRN. It has to do with English 102, and it's one of my students in 102. If you start sending me emails through MyMC, it's likely to get lost because I get so many, and this is just the more efficient way to send me mail. Okay, so then we get to really the heart and soul of the course, and where that is located is in course contents. All right, and the class is divided up into 5 learning modules, and I also have 2 other sites in here. One is another learning module that's really called housekeeping, which is what you're seeing right now. And then I do have a folder towards the end that I just drop PowerPoints into and certain worksheets and just different handouts that you might use that don't really particularly pertain specifically to a unit, but rather they're just other items that can help you out. So this housekeeping unit is where this video is housed, so you're familiar with that. And then we'll just go down the line. The first unit is dimensions. The second unit is called rhetorical analysis and synthesis. The third unit is the researched argument paper, and this is indeed the biggie for the class. This is when you'll be doing that 10+ page research project, and that's going to take us quite some time. It'll take us weeks to get through that. And then unit 4 is just a few assignments in there. And then lastly, unit 5 is basically just the ending assignments. In other words, you have to do me a self-reflection essay at the end of the semester, and you also have to combine all your writing into an English composition folder. And as I said down here, the very last thing that you'll see is a folder that just says supplementary materials. Okay, so back up to the top. Let me jump back up here again. And you can see that all of the learning modules, and remember they're noted by this little notebook with the tabs. That means it's a learning module. They're really structured the same way. There's a front page to them that basically just tells you what it contains. And then if you click on it, you get to those particular documents, those videos, those links, whatever I have in there for that module. So you'll see in housekeeping that what you have here is the course outline, the department course outline, and then I do my own specific weekly syllabus. Then there's a semester calendar, there's a grade record sheet, and then there's a personal contact form. And so you can just flip through them, right? It's a table of contents, and you could just jump from page to page, but the table of contents shows you at a glance exactly what's in there. For this particular module, what you were required to do before you even step foot in the class is to download this personal contact form, complete it, and then upload it. And this is one of the ways that you'll be giving me items, assignments, written assignments throughout the course of the semester in an upload file. And, you know, quite simple. I'm pretty sure most of you have done this already, but if not, or if you need to refresh your memory, you're just saving your document, please, in Word form. That is my preference. And you name it with your last name, and you might name the assignment itself. In other words, you could put on this one Cocazella personal contact form, and then you save it somewhere. You all should really create a cloud folder for this class, but as long as you know where your document is housed, then you just click on browse local files and you upload it. And that way I can get it. Some assignments I will download and print out, and I will just comment on your assignments the old-fashioned way by hand. Some assignments I'll actually comment on the assignment in the upload folder, and you can look at my comments online. Sometimes with assignments I actually do something like this. I'll send you a video of or an audio, I should say, or both, right? I could send you a screencast-o-matic of the assignment, and I can go through it and say, in this paragraph you should have done this paragraph is strong, etc., etc. So you're going to get feedback from me in all different ways. So let's just go back out. So that was what was housed in housekeeping. Now, as far as the content units for the class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're really listed in very much the same way. The front page of the learning module will list the weeks of the unit. I think this is going to take us 2 weeks to get through it. It will give you an overview. Hey, listen, this is essentially what we're going to be learning. These are the objectives for the unit. Then it'll give you the numbers of the assignments and the names of the assignments. And then it also gives you the reading from the text that you should be doing. And just like it was the case with the housekeeping learning module, you just click on the unit module, and here you go. It shows you what's in it. Usually there'll be a PowerPoint, there might be a YouTube video, there might be a video that I've created to introduce you to the unit, and then there will be instructions for the various assignments. There might be some samples, some models, documents like that, and it's all very, very self-explanatory once you get the hang of it. So let's jump back out again. And that's going to be the case for every unit. They all are structured exactly the same way. A front page, and then you get into the unit and you'll see all the contents there. Now, the next thing I wanted to call your attention to is journals, which is another way you're going to submit assignments to me. So the first way is as an upload file, and typically that's for longer assignments. Journals is for shorter assignments. Usually it's just a paragraph or so. So I've already got 2 loaded in here, and it's quite obvious. You just click on the journal and it'll tell you here are the instructions for it. And then when you are doing a journal for me, you are writing right inside of the journal itself where it says, here you go, create journal entry. And you title it. You can tell me what the name of the journal entry is. And then you're going to type the journal right in there. And as I said, this is for shorter assignments, so it's usually just a paragraph or so. And then down at the bottom right, I don't want to scoot the screen over, but at the bottom right of this screen, you're going to see post entry, and always make sure you do post it, obviously, otherwise I won't see it. And this is a good way I can give you feedback right on there. I can comment to you and tell you what was right or wrong about it. Was it strong or weak or what have you? Then the last way that you're going to give me work through Blackboard, we've got uploads and we've got journals. This is the third way you can give me work, and that is through discussions. And you'll see here that I already have 2 created. And in discussions, you just do just that. You create a thread. And I tell you on top what the instructions are for the thread. The one thing you should remember when you do discussions is the subject should always be your last name. That makes it easier for me to track who's done their discussion board posts, and it makes it easier for me to comment on them. So back out to course contents. So we've been to the home page. That was just the welcome banner. I've explained to you what announcements are all about. You know that you should be submitting me your emails to me through course mail. And we have gone through journals and discussions. And then, of course, this is particularly important too, I would imagine. Here are my grades. And for this one, I am going to shift the screen over because I think it's important for you to see all of it. So you can see the top item or row, if you will, is going to be your running average. So you will always know the average percentage wise that you're getting in this class. I don't deal too much with weighted average and weighted totals, so don't worry about that so much. And then you jump down and it shows you all the various assignments that you'll be doing during the course of the semester. And if I move my screen over, it will show you, hang on for a minute, there you go. It will show you the point value. So in other words, hey, listen, you did the quiz on chapter 3 and it was worth 25 points and you got a 20. So that will be listed in there, and so on and so forth. Pretty self-explanatory. All this to say you will always know where you stand in my class in terms of grading, because I do grade quickly and I keep Blackboard up to date with your grades. So there should be no worries or excuses or what have you. Now this video only lasts 15 minutes, so I'm getting to the end. The other thing I wanted to point to is if we do have a Zoom meeting, you can get in here directly through Blackboard. So that's why I wanted to show you that. It takes a while to load, so we won't go any further with that, but we'll go back out. And click on your course again. And the other thing you would need to know is that you can get directly to the library through here.